This is so good. I didn't realize how eerie and spooky and chilling and so detailed this book was. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley Hannah, and another welcome to Summerween, an 8-day long, I believe, readathon hosted by Gabby Reads. I will link her channel in my description down below. And yeah, this is the start of that readathon. I have never participated because I never get the memo and I'm always, late to the game. But I got the crust out of my eyes and we're gonna do this readathon. So it would greatly behoove me to read one book a day, or I was gonna say 7 and 7, but since it's 8 days long, 8 in 8. So that's what we're gonna try to do. I know there are a lot of prompts, so I don't think I'm going to specifically be trying to hit those prompts because I like readathons, but I don't like readathons. I'm a nonconformist at heart. I don't like to join. I'm not a joiner, but I also get FOMO. I don't know. It's weird. So I'm going to try to read, but really not mind the prompts. And if they happen, cool. If they don't, that's fine. There's also a bingo board that I'm sure I'll hit some bingos. I don't know, I'm sure at some point. So that is all of that. And basically, I just want to do this readathon because I really like the mystery thriller genre, and I'm okay with horror, but I really like mystery thrillers. So the book we're reading today is You Are Fatally Invited by Andy Pliego, or Pliego. One of these days I need to look up how you say this man's name, but I'm reading this book. It is about, why did I say it like that? It's about 6 mystery thriller authors who are invited to an island by a famous author in his own right named J.R. Alistair. And he has this protege person named Mila helping him to do something. We don't know what's happening. It's a locked door mystery kind of a thing. And yeah, I have this one from the library, and also I found it randomly on Libby and I thought it wasn't going to be there, the audio, so I'm doing a little tandem read. And this book is reminiscent of a bunch of books, actually. It's reminding me of The Writer's Retreat and Kill Creek and With a Vengeance, and also that movie, what's it called? I get the title wrong all the time. Murder by Death. It's a very politically incorrect movie that I love. And it has Dame Maggie Smith, may she rest in peace, in it. Love that movie. But anyway, it is reminiscent of those things. So I'm enjoying that. We're on day 2 already, and I'm about 60-ish pages in. So I got a decent chunk done. And yeah, so what's gonna happen today? I don't know. This week, I asked you guys on my community post whether or not you guys wanted me to do a bunch of little vlogs like days 1 through 2, 3 through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or just one long vlog. And I believe at the time of filming this, you guys chose one long vlog. So that's what I'm gonna give you. And you will not see me do anything interesting in this vlog. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm not an interesting person. Nope. Very boring. I have one friend, and that's how I like it. But I might let the sun kiss my skin, who knows? Yeah, I have really nothing to do this week because I am on a vacation. See, my job is weird because I have sporadic hours during the summer. If there's a camp for me to teach, I do. So during the summer, I'm basically unemployed. So I have nothing to do. And so that's why I'm reading so much, because I'm bored. So yeah, I'm going to be doing nothing work-wise. I might go take a ballet class, but yeah, you'll see me doing a little walking maybe, and I might bake something. Who knows? I might. Do you guys want to see the other books in the TBR? Let's show them, okay? Let's show them. So these are all of the books that we could get to. I'm a very big mood reader, if you couldn't tell by the name of this channel. Like I said, I of course have You Are Fatally Invited. I also picked up Murder Road by Simone St. James. I read The Sundown Motel, or I listened to it. I think I can only find the audiobook a couple years ago, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best, but I had a good time and I liked the style of writing. So when I found this from the library, I was like, ooh, I think I might enjoy this. Plus, it just seems like Murder Road, you know? It seems like you can't miss. So we're gonna be reading that. I also need to get to The Game is a Footnote by Vicky Delaney, just because I want to read all of the Sherlock Holmes Bookshop mystery series. This is a cozy mystery, and it's about a woman named Gemma Doyle who is of no relation to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. But yeah, she owns a bookshop where they sell Sherlock Holmes themed things, and I love Sherlock Holmes, even though there's a lot of roasting of the Robert Downey Jr. version of Sherlock Holmes, which is my favorite version, because I love me some RDJ. He is a masterpiece. He's our treasure, our national treasure. For a bit of light reading, I picked up Dracula by Bram Stoker. And this might be the book that I read at night for one of those prompts. There's a prompt that says read a book at night. This might be the one because I have the audiobook as well. And when I'm reading a classic, especially if it's one that I'm not too excited about Dracula. I just feel like I should read it. But if it's a classic that I am less than enthused to read, I will employ the audiobook to help me get through it. So I might do this one at night. But I also just love this because the cover is really pretty. That's it. And then I have Ray Bradbury's Something Wicked This Way Comes, which is just a book that's been on my shelves for at least a year, and that is also one of the prompts. So I picked this one up. I've started and stopped this book several times and gotten like 10 pages in each time. So we'll see what happens. I just also don't know what this is about. Like, I know that there's a Pandemonium shadow show, and I know that there are 2 boys who were born on either side of Halloween, and that it's spooky. That's what I know. And then the book that I don't know why I put this on my TBR. Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto. The reason why I'm so confused as to why I put this on my TBR is because I actually did try the first couple chapters last night, and this book is not what I thought it was. I thought this was going to be a cozy mystery, much like the Gemma Doyle Bookshop series. It is not. It is barely a mystery. And it's in the back of the book. It says Medlin Chan accidentally kills her blind date. That's where the mystery murder thriller part of it comes in, which is why I found it or my sister found this in the mystery section of our bookstore, and she bought it. I'm reading this from her, so thank you. Thanks, sis. But that's about it. It's mostly a romance, which I did not understand, but it's about this Chinese family who they have like this curse where they feel like the Chan women are cursed to have their men leave them, and so they all have a family business, Medlin and her aunts, and it's basically like a wedding package. So they do like the cakes and the flowers and the hairdressing, and then Medlin does the photography. And so her mother sets her up on a blind date, and on the blind date, she accidentally kills her blind date, and he is the hotel owner. So of the place that they're using for their business and like getting, the hotel is hosting the wedding. So that's a little bit not great. And then apparently she meets her great love of her life, the one that got away, at the wedding. And I'm just mad because I thought this was going to be a mystery thriller, like a cozy one, but it's not. So who knows if I'll read this. This one or Dracula might not get to them. And that's the TBR. Ooh. Duolingo. Does anyone else hate Duolingo? That stupid bird keeps telling me I'm missing my French lesson. Okay, so, yeah, let's get into it. Let's read. I will also be doing a little bit of crocheting because my one friend, you know her, my one friend is having a baby, and I want to make her baby a blanket, so we're doing that. And that's it. Come along.
Working on my daydreams, down bed wishing you'd come
Oh, my neighbor can see me. That's okay. Hey, how you doing? That walk was, quite frankly, way too hot. I will probably not be going out anymore during this readathon. What have we done? We listened to what is a very nice audiobook. I like it. Like, there's a section where one of the authors was like writing and they were dictating what the story was, and then they were like crossing out names and like scribbling, and you can hear the pen scribbles. It's a well-produced audiobook, but I'm 16 chapters in, almost chapter 17, 29% in, and someone has died, and we're sad. And I don't feel one way or the other towards this book. I think I like it, but I'm not in love with it. I just want to know what's happening. I think this is one of those books where it's like the suspense is trying to get you, and the constant shift from perspective to perspective is supposed to be like, what next, what next? So we'll see. I'll suspend my immediate reactions until something else happens. Okay, so it's been a minute and I have gotten to, let us see. I'm on chapter 61, which is like 83% in, and I have about, oh, no spoilers, no spoilers, on page like 300-ish, and I'm wholeheartedly confused, and not in a, oh, I need to know way, but in a, what? Way, because there are so many perspectives, and yes, it is a and then there were none type of situation, so, you know, we do dwindle a little bit. But the way that it's being told with the perspectives and then the added mystery perspectives, you're like, I don't understand how these people connect to that narrative. And Alistair is testing these people with a bunch of games, so I like that aspect, but then like, they don't really finish the game, really? And they're just little tests that seem pointless, I guess. And then everyone's backstories are confusing me because there's so many backstories. So I don't love this book. I'm gonna finish it because I want to know who Alistair is, because that's the main question we have right now at this point. And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of balls in the air. So I was listening to this on my walking pad because I'm trying to get 10,000 steps throughout this whole experience, because that's what I usually do. And I don't want reading to overtake physical fitness. But while I was listening to it, I was just like, I want to see it on the page too. So yeah, we're gonna read the rest, and then I'll be back with my final review, because if it unveils things in a whoa way, then I'll give it a higher rating. But right now it's sitting at like a 2.75. It's an average book. That's what it's doing. The best thing about it is that the cover is really beautissimous. It's really pretty. I like it. But yeah, but this could count for the sky on a cover of a book. Or, I guess this is a thriller. This could count as a thriller, I think. Sure. If I wanted to. It was a touch predictable by the end. I do like when we had the, the great big unveiling of how everything connects. It made sense, but like I said, I guessed it at the very beginning what was going to happen. I'm torn because the audiobook is making me want to give it a good, like a bumped up rating, because the audiobook is so well produced. Like I said, the pages, like the scratching out of the names, it had multiple narrators for each gender and each accent, and you could just tell that a lot of effort went into it. So, good job with that. But everything else was just kind of so-so. But I did like the fact that the author, who I feel like I said this author was a man. This is a woman. Andy's a woman. And I like that the tropes of the mystery genre were placed in this novel. So like the final girl and the dinner party scene, the confession scene, like all of the tropes that are in a good mystery novel were talked about in this one. So I like it when it comes to talking about books. But yeah, I'm glad I got it from the library, because if I had bought it, I would have felt bad because I didn't like it that much. So all that to say, I'm gonna give it a 3. 3 stars on Goodreads. Pretty good, but I'm not gonna read it again. Now I need to figure out what I'm gonna read next, and I need to figure out if I'm gonna be able to watch a scary movie, because there's the bingo board, people, and I don't know if okay, real talk, I don't really like scary movies. I can watch them, but they kind of bore me. So I might, listen, does Jurassic Park count as a scary movie? Methinks. I want to watch Jurassic Park, not 1, but 2, because I love that movie so much. That's the first Jurassic Park I think I actually watched when I was a kid, and I loved it. I might watch that. And yeah, I mean, I could watch Halloween Town, and I could count that as a scary movie because there's a skeleton in it. Good morning and happy day 2 of Summerween. Last night, I got a decent chunk of the way into Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. I don't know why it was so hard for me to get into this book all those times ago, because this is really good. This doesn't feel old at all. It feels very current. It's aged very well. And it's about these 2 young boys that are about to be 14 years old, born on either side of Halloween, just minutes apart, and they are opposites in every way. So one is light with fair hair, the other has dark hair, and their names are Will Halloway and James Nightshade. And one day, this lightning rod salesman comes up to them and says some ominous things, gives them a lightning rod, and in the next few days, this carnival comes to town. But it's a little spooky because carnivals don't generally come to town in October, and they don't come to town in the dead of night at 3 a.m. So in the daytime, they go to the carnival and everything looks kind of tame, but they just notice some weird things. And I'm only 113-ish pages in, but the tone and the prose are wonderful, so that's what keeps me turning the page. And yeah, I just can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see if it actually gets a little bit spookier. Like, we've had a little bit of an oddity, I guess you could say, with a carousel. But other than that, nothing really too spooky's happened. Although, I really like, this has nothing to do with the carnival at all, I really like the scenes with Will and his parents, because they just seem like tragic Americana, I guess, is the only way I can describe it. So, yeah. Reading this, we're gonna bake something today, and that's our day 2. It's baking time. sound like a lawnmower. I can't tell if that's a wasp or a carpenter bee.
Oh no. I discovered something really fascinating. When you hum, you have more endurance. You can exercise longer. Where's the wasp?
I can't tell. Oh, it's over there.
Where?
In the bushes.
Oh.
It's in the bushes. Yeah. To give my reaction of my coffee cake, this is totally the first time I'm eating it. Wow. It's good. I will say, this recipe is supposed to have walnuts in it, but the person I'm making it for, she can't have walnuts, so I would suggest putting walnuts in it, but pecans are good too. Book number 2 of 8, done. Another one bites the dust. What do I give this? I give this a 4, a good 4-star book, because I'm not gonna lie, it was a little tricky to read this just because the prose is so lyrical and so, like, you could tell that Ray was trying to do something here. And for the most part, he does do something because, I don't know, I guess when it came to the more thoughtful aspect of the book, where we're talking about, you know, it's not just a spooky story, it's a life story too. And I guess the way in which the whole carnival is so insidious is, I don't want to spoil it, but it's insidious for a reason. And so when you're talking about that theme, I think that it goes hand in hand with his writing style. But when it comes to just like a spooky, scary, twisted novel, it's a little much, a little heavy-handed. But all that to say, I still liked it. It was a little dense when it came to like getting yourself out of the twisty-turny prose. Now, I loved the characters. Charles, what's his last name? Charles Holloway. MVP. Loved him. Loved that character. I wish we had spent more time talking about Jim and his family dynamic, because I feel like that was not touched on at all, besides that little snippet we had in the beginning where you're like, whoa, I want to know more about this. I loved the dynamic between William and Jim, and how it's like when your best friend is more like your brother and they get on your nerves that way. That was the kind of friendship they had. And I was just like, oh my gosh, Jim, stop. The circus, the carnival is not your friend. Please have some self-respect. But yeah, I really liked it. There were a lot of times and I was like, wait, I wish I could underline that. And I just didn't, because I was like, I just want to keep reading. Great protagonists, great antagonists, pretty good ending. Yeah, I really liked it. I feel like there's a couple of things that were like glossed over a little bit, but for the most part, really enjoyed. And now, I don't know what to read next. This is like, okay, it's not the reading every day that's like, oh, that's hard. It's the deciding what to read next, because then you're like, what if the next book I read isn't good? And then you're just like, what do I do? What if I lose the mojo? But, so it's nighttime right now. It's currently 9:15. So we could read a book at night, and we could choose a book, start it, and commit that book to only reading it at nighttime. So I could read Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak, or I could read, where's that book? There's a book over there, Murder Road. So I think I'm gonna go with one of those. I still don't feel like reading Dracula, sorry to say. And whatever happens, whatever book I choose, I'm probably only going to read it tonight and then tomorrow night. And then I'll probably choose something else in the morning. So you will see what happens. I hope it goes well. day 3 of Summerween, everybody. What happened last night? Oh, I told you I was going to decide what I was going to be reading at night, what would my designated night book be, and I did decide to make it Murder Road by Simone St. James, and I got 60-ish pages into this before I fell asleep, and I'm liking this a lot. I like it because the other Simone St. James that I read a couple years ago was called Sundown Motel, and I liked that book for the writing, not so much for the story, because it was like a dual timeline sort of a thing that just didn't work. Like, there were things in it that didn't work for this author, but I liked the writing. So with this, it's weird because this is also like a dual timelines, but not really. Okay, so this is about a newly married couple. Their names are Eddie and April, and right after they get married, they take a road trip to like a motel because they can't afford anything else. And they're on this random road, and they see this person, which is in the description. I told you this before. They see the person, right? And they're like, is it a man? Is it a woman? They find out it's a woman. And they're like, this is a little creepy, but let's, extend an olive branch, a helping hand, and, see if we can get them to safety. And this person goes in, and they find out that they've been stabbed. And this person says that there's somebody after them. And this person dies. And now April and Eddie are the suspects. And I like this little town we're in of Cold Lake. Is it Cold? Yeah, Cold Lake Falls. I like the town. It's a little creepy. I like the murder road that's like being implied, because I haven't gotten there yet, but there's an implication that people die on this road. And I like April because we're in, the story is being told by April, and she's alluding to her past, and that the reason why she's not freaking out about anything. And the police think that's a little weird. They're like, you might be a murderer because you're not freaking out. You're a woman and you're not freaking out, and it's 1995. So she's also giving you snippets into her childhood and how crazy it was. So I can't wait to learn more about April. That's really the thing that's getting me like, ooh, I want to read more. So loving this. And then this morning I started reading a horror movie by Paul Tremblay, and I am about 16% in. And this is a book about, this is kind of hard to explain. Paul Tremblay makes some weird books. This is not my first Paul Tremblay I've tried to read, but this one is about a couple different timelines. One is where we have our narrator, and he is about 50 years old, and he's been approached to make a reboot of a movie that never actually came out, but there have been scenes that have been leaked to the public, and it's a cult classic. He was in that movie, and so then we have that timeline, and we also have the other timeline where he's telling us what happened during the making of said film, and the film was called Horror Movie or something to that effect. I can't really remember at the moment. But so the audiobook in particular does a good job of them going through the screenplay, because that's part of the narrative in the book. So I like Paul Tremblay's writing. I just don't know where this is going, because I don't know, like, what's gonna happen. I don't know. Why is it? And I think he's the only one who survived. So what happened to the other cast members? Because it was an indie film. What happened to them? What happened on the filming of this movie? Who knows? I want to know. Hopefully we'll find out. So yeah, that's what I'm reading or listening to. I think I'm gonna listen to that while I'm on my walking pad. I really wish I had the ebook or like a physical copy, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Because I really want to put my eyes on the page while I listen, because audiobooks are not my preferred way of reading. I'm a visual learner, intaker, so when I have to listen to something, I don't visualize quite as well. Probably just means I'm not a good listener. But yeah, so I'm gonna put that on when I'm on the walking pad, and then I also want to go to Michael's today because I want to get some stuff to do, a little bit of journaling, scrapbooking-ish stuff, because I've been getting really into my physical journals. Also, I'm just trying to like reduce my screen time in general. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Happy day 3. I also, speaking of screen time, I also completed day 1, 2, and 3 of the Instagram prompts for Summerween. So this was my picture for the sunset business. So I think I need to take a picture of, no, that's tomorrow's prompt. Never mind. This is a very weird book, but I'm over halfway through and I kind of love it. Okay, so our narrator, or our main character, we don't actually know his name, I don't think yet. Will we ever? I don't know. But our main character, he has been cast to play, even though he's not an actor, he's been cast to play this kid named the Thin Kid, and they're all kind of, the director, the writer, they're all acting in it. So they are college age students, like early mid 20s, and they're all trying to make this film. And they end up casting this guy who embodies this thin kid aesthetic, so very tall, very lanky, and they're like, it's great if you don't know anything, so you're not allowed to get the sides of the script until we're about to shoot the scenes, but don't worry, you won't have many lines. Great. And so he ends up going very method, and everything is happening very method, and it's very weird. I don't really know what's happening still. Like, I don't know how this is going to get resolved. I know that he's the only one surviving, so, I mean, everyone else has pretty much died via other circumstances. And it's just a little bit creepy. While I was vacuuming, we had some creepy stuff happening. The audiobook is also very good, so that's a thing. And it's a short book, so we're going to finish this in probably another hour and a half, 2 hours tops. And I just want to know what's happening. I want to know why. Why are they making this movie? As you can tell from my bedraggled appearance, it is hair washing day, and I hate hair washing day simply because it takes a lot of time and it doesn't even look that good when I do it. So I'm going to do that while I listen to horror movie, which I'm still liking, so hopefully it doesn't piss me off at the end.
Empty space, and beyond that a plain wall and dim light from an off-screen archway across from us. Fucking kill the Carson kid already. Kill him! Some of us wonder pragmatically.
Kill him. So I finished horror movie, and I truly don't know what to think about the ending, because I guess it wasn't what I wanted, but I still enjoyed it. I don't know. I gave it like a 3.75. It's not quite a 4, to be frank. I just don't know how to feel about it because it was utterly deranged. It was crazy, and not in a good way. It kind of left a sour taste in my mouth about how I feel about the book. I feel like I've just been rambling about the end in general, but I really liked the atmosphere and the weird indie art house horror movie that we were making. Although I have to say that I don't understand the movie that was being made. I really don't. I don't understand what the point of that movie was. I know that one of the characters explained why she wrote the film like that, but I don't get it. It went over my head, and I don't like that. I like to know what's going on. So I didn't love that aspect. The Thin Kid, whose name we never know, which is another point against this book. I hate when books have unnamed characters. Don't talk about Daphne du Maurier or Dostoevsky's White Knights. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those are okay. But this one, I really wanted to know his name. I was curious. And then this was just a very confusing book in general. Like I was saying before, Thin Kid, the actor who plays the Thin Kid, he goes very method, right? And so I'm just wondering, as he's immersing himself into this story, how much of it is in his head, you know? Although it probably all could have been real. It most likely was all real, now that I'm thinking about it. There were a lot of unhinged scenes in general in this book, and there were scenes where you were told one thing happened, and then the now narrative would be like, this is what actually happened. So that was a very interesting piece. It was very interesting to get those pieces of information after the fact and to see how they really happened. And you're like, what? Specifically for one scene I'm thinking about. But yeah, I don't know what to think. I'm gonna keep it at a 3.75. I did like it though. I did. And it was the first Paul Tremblay that I've actually finished because I tried to read The Pallbearers Club, and that one was very slow, very boring, although I liked the tone of it. So this had the bonus of me liking the tone of it and also liking the actual content. And people said this book was slow. I don't think it was that slow. I think it was a very fast-paced, like, creeping book. Not fast-paced as in, boom, jump scare, but like, just it flows at a nice pace. I just didn't like how it ended. And that's it. Like, I like the ending, not the end. That makes no sense if you haven't read this book. Anyway, that was what I read today. Now it is about, I'm going to watch 7:14. So I am going to probably only read Murder Road tonight. We'll see if I read it in the dark. I don't think I will. I kind of treasure my eyeball, so I'd rather keep my eyesight for as long as possible. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do tonight, and I will see you when I see you. So I'm kind of sort of still flip-flopping between Dracula and Murder Road, and I'm pretty far along in Murder Road actually. I think if I really do hunker down, I'll finish it tonight. But I am also loving Dracula, and I'm about 100 pages into this one. This is so good. I didn't realize how eerie and spooky and chilling and so detailed this book was. I don't know why it wasn't hitting before, but it is now. So I've met Jonathan Harker, and he has gone to Dracula's castle to be his solicitor and to help him buy a house. And he's noticed some things when he went to Transylvania. The first one being that everyone in the town is scared, and that, oh my gosh, when he's in his little, like, carriage going to his house, he realizes something weird about the carriage driver. And that's our first clue that, like, that's Dracula. And then when we meet Dracula formally, we're like, oh, he's pretty cool. He's a cool guy. And then some other crazy stuff happens. We have the quintessential vampire mirror scene, and he tries... Oh, Jonathan is given a rosary to protect himself from Dracula, and that is what protects him. And then we have the three maidens who are just so creepy, and it's so atmospheric. I love it so much. I really wish that I owned this. I wish that this was mine and that I could just keep it forever. I might keep the library book. Don't tell my library. I'm not doing that. keep loaning me books. And so this is an epistolary novel, so we were learning these things through journal entries and letters. So we've had some from Jonathan, and then we've had some from Mina, his fiancée, and she's corresponding with Lucy, her best friend, and the juxtaposition between Mina, who is like your typical career woman, and Lucy, who is just, she wants to be a housewife. She's the trad wife girl, and she's had 3 different proposals, and I love this book. I love it so much. I don't think I'll be able to finish it today. I don't even think I'd want to. So I'm just going to keep on perusing, and we'll see what we get in this book. But I'm out and about. I'm technically chauffeuring, but I do want to go to the bookstore because I do want to pick up The Woman in Suite 11, which came out today. So I really want to get it today. I got dressed for the event, man. I put on clothes. I did my eyeliner. Give me some credit. Okay, let's continue. I think I was blurry that entire time. Why is this thing in the way? Oh, maybe it's because the car's not on. Oh, there we go. That's why.
Maybe it's because the car's not on. Yeah, it moves.
I forget. It's a space car.
I think it's your first time in this car.
This is not my car. It's a space car. Anyway, I did brave the outdoors. It was raining. My sister got B-roll, and it was... I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm pretty sure it was shaky. She has shaky hands. And I was like, should I go home? Stop that. That was my other video. I put it in. I was like, should I go home? And then I was like, no, I'm gonna rally, because even though I feel as though I'm not waterproof, I am. I went to the bookstore and I got The Woman in Suite 11. Yes. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I just figured I had to get it. And I really did like The Woman in Suite. Oh no, there's something on the back of this. Disgusting. I really did like The Woman in Cabin 10. I don't understand how she's gonna do a sequel out of this, but you know what, Ruth Ware? She's hit or miss, honestly. What are you doing? You just want someone to see your shoulder? She wants someone to see her really pretty shoulder. Show it off. Show a little shoulder. And it's like that Cosby Show episode. You show a little leg and you bring it right back. You show a little leg and then you bring it right back. There's a lot of stuff happening. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go read. Oh my gosh. The fact that I drink almost a gallon of water a day and I still have chapped and bleeding lips. Crazy. Oh, good morning and happy day 5 of, what's this called? Summerween? If I look sleepy, it's because I am. And I did finish a book, not last night, but this morning. I finished Murder Road, which I have not updated really about at all. So yes, this vlog is very like my personality, a manic, but again, I'm torn. I liked it, but I did not remember why I hated the Sundown Motel so much. And it's because, and I don't think this is a spoiler, but you can mute me for, 10 seconds. Simone St. James writes with a very speculative element, and that's pretty much in all her books, apparently, which I did not know, and I was not aware of until I got about halfway into this book, and I was like, wait, I don't like where this is going. Simply because I don't like this trope, I guess you could say. But I did like a lot of elements about this story. I loved some of the characters. Like, there's a character named Rose who owns a really, like, not the best B&B. Why do I say it like that? Not the best B&B. She has a really, like, creepy house filled with lots of tchotchkes and lots of pictures of Princess Diana. She's a big fan. And that's her house. I love that character. I also loved, there is this detective character named Detective Quentin, and he reminds me so vividly of Detective Lassiter from Psych. I don't know why, but, and like, he's not as clueless as Lassiter, or Lassie, but he gave me that energy. It was reminiscent of him. And I think where this book didn't keep my attention, even though I did read all of it, was just that it ended up being a little, when the twist that, oh, how do you talk about this without saying it? When you find out what's happening to these hitchhikers, you go, oh. And then it because of the trope that it was exploiting, it just lost me in particular. I think this will work for a lot of people. I just don't like this particular trope. And then, oh yeah, April's whole backstory, I wanted that to be more explosive. When we find out why she was running for all those years and who she was and why she was keeping secrets from her husband, you're like, oh, but I get that. I understand. And they're like the little bit of animosity that gets brought up between the two of them. It's like, I don't understand why you're mad at her. I don't know. It just seemed like it wasn't that bad. So, yeah. But I still liked it. 3 stars, but a good 3 stars. It's not like the 3 stars that I give when I don't like something, when it, like, really, when I wanted more out of it. I didn't want that much out of this, so 3 is a good rating for this one. Plus, it has so many nice 90s references. Like, it references O.J. Simpson and that guy that, the guy that got his member cut off by his wife, and, of course, Princess Diana. What other 90s references does it make? It says a lot of things. So yeah, I liked it, but not that much. Which is kind of the theme with this reading vlog. And then today, I am going to continue reading Dracula. I'm really liking it. And the thing that I'm going to be, I don't think I'm going to finish that whole thing today, but the book I'm really trying to finish today is Too Old for This by Samantha Downing, because I need to get to it because I got an ARC from NetGalley and I don't want my rating to plummet even further than it has. So I have to do it. This comes out next month on the 12th, and how this book goes will determine whether or not I add it to my Samantha Downing collection. I would love to add this one to it, but if it's not good, I won't. But I'm like 15-ish% in to this book, and this is about a woman, a 75-year-old, I believe. She's in her 70s. Woman named Lottie, who is a serial killer. We know this. She's a retired serial killer. But when this reporter comes to her house named Plum Dixon, when she comes to her house, she wants to do a story on her, and she will not take no for an answer. She's like, I'm going to do a story on you and how you were wrongly convicted back in your past. And Lottie doesn't want that. So she does some things. And yeah, so she's no longer retired. She has to come back out of the retirement into her real profession of serial killing. So I'm enjoying this because it's just poking fun at the fact that everyone thinks that older people are just so frail, which some people are, but some people can, like, they can get the let out when they need to. And sorry, my allergies are really bad today. And I'm curious as to whether or not this is going to just be her just killing people, or if there's like a, where is this going, I guess? Where is it going? So that's that. Today, I don't have use of my car, so I think I'm just gonna be here today. I think that's what's happening. I do know that Nell Diamond, you guys should subscribe. You guys should subscribe to her. I'm sorry, when I wake up, I can't use my mouth. Like, and also when I wake up, I can't use my hand either. I was trying to fill out my little bullet journal and I couldn't even grip my pen. I was like, and I don't know if that's just a me thing. It's probably not a me thing. I think it's just waking up. But yeah, Nell Diamond has sprints going on, I believe, today. So I might join her for that. And that is our day 5. I know I look glorious, but I finished Too Old for This. I finally said the name right. For the past couple videos, I've been saying Too Old, and then I just never say anything else. I know what this book is called. It's called Too Old for This, and it was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads because, honestly, I think I just like Samantha Downing's authorial voice because it's so basic. Like, not in a bad way. It's basic in that way that, like, you know how toast tastes good and dry noodles taste good and plain cake tastes good? This book tasted good. It's featuring an old lady who is so unassuming. It's like, little old me could never have killed all of these people. And people are like, you're right. And the people that aren't like, you're right, are like suspicious, and then she gets to work. I like this book because it also talked about, like, it seemed like the murder was kind of like the nuisance in her life, like the backdrop, because she had more pressing things to think about, like that witch Glenda at the bingo nights, and the fact that her son Archie is getting remarried, like all these other things that were just more pressing to her. And she's like, ugh. And now I gotta go deal with these people. It's just such a clever idea. So I really like that. I really liked I'm not gonna say I really liked it because it makes me so sad to think about, but the idea that you get old enough, and 75 isn't that old. 80's old, okay? 80's when you start to get old. 75 is not that old. But she starts to think about the fact that she won't be around forever. She starts to think about her mortality. And I love books that talk about that because it's a thing people don't really talk about. It's like people don't talk about dying or getting old and then dying. And in any case, you're going to die anyway. So the fact that she was being very pragmatic about this, and the fact that her mind wasn't as sharp as it once was, and she wasn't, like, she's a serial killer, but she's also in her 70s, so she has some hip pain. She abuses the ibuprofen like I used to when I was dancing. And I just really love this. I don't know. I love when I read a book and then I talk myself into loving it more than I did after I finished the book. Like, I feel like that's happening right now. There weren't the most amount of twists and turns in this book because it felt like novel version or the murder version of If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. This felt like that. Or if the Finlay Donovan series, if she 1 was 75 and 2 actually was a murderer, this would be that book. I loved it. I really want Samantha Downing's books to be made into like a movie or a TV show. I feel like her books would lend themselves very well to the screen, and I really enjoyed it. So that's what I have to say. The next book we're going to be reading, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Next book we're going to be reading is, we're going to continue on with Dracula. And I also want to get to, my cozy mystery over there is screaming at me that I need to finish it, or start it, really. And then I also have some ebooks that I could get to. Like, I have a lot of audiobooks. Like, what's the book called? It's a very short book that I got from Libby. Okay, so I picked up This Thing Between Us by Gus Moreno. I have no idea what that one's about, but the cover scares me, and it's only 6 hours of an audiobook. So that's like 3 hours. We could do that. And then I also have, this one could really be done tonight if I really wanted to. Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Caw. That one's 3 hours on normal speed, so bump it up to 2. We have 1.5 hours. Doable. But we'll see. This cover scares the living daylights out of me, so I don't know if I'll watch it. I don't know if I'll read it. But yeah, this is where I leave you. I'm going to chillax and read some more. Maybe watch some book too. Who knows? The night is young. Unlike Lottie Jones. Good morning and happy Summerween day 6? Okay? I don't know. I am about 300 pages in to Dracula. And that means that I've got I feel like I've got like 100 pages left. So that's exciting. I'm about to finish this bad boy. And I, of course, really love it. I really like how, oh my gosh, there was like talk about transfusions. So many men were losing all their blood. And just the descriptions of a character in particular turning into a vampire and their teeth, just like the gums receding and making them pointier, more canine, more vampiric. And the fact that there's like the beauty coming back to this supposedly dead person. They're like, wait, are they dead or are they like, what's happening? They look like they're getting better. And the humor that I'm getting from this book. And Van Helsing, love Van Helsing. He is like one of the best characters. So I'm loving it, and all I want to do is watch the 1992 version with Winona Ryder and Gary Oldman. And if you know me, you know I love Gary Oldman, because who is Gary Oldman? He's Sirius Black. I love Sirius Black. Ooh, Sirius Black, love him. So I want to watch that movie so bad, but I can't find it anywhere. I'm going to check all the streaming platforms. I only have a subscription to 2, so I'm going to check all 2 of them. It's not on YouTube as a free movie, so I'm very disappointed. And if I can, that's the scary movie that I'm going to watch for the week. So yeah, reading this, loving it. I've been listening and reading, but I've been listening while making these little things. I've only made 10 of them this week, which is not good, because I need like 42. So, sorry, Fran, your baby might need to wait a little bit for the blanket. But in other news, I also... I don't know why I ordered this, but I did. I ordered a Been There, Done That novelogue. It's basically a poster with, listen, I was influenced by Kayla from Books and Lala, but I think it's justified because I'd seen her have this for like a year plus, and I was like, I want one, but I never bought one. And I haven't told you what it is yet. This is a poster that has a bunch of book covers, and you can see the title of them, and when you read the book, you scratch it off with a coin because you read it. And I want to see how many of, it's the 100 best books or most popular, I don't know, 100 books that you should read. And look, Dracula's right there. And once I read it, I can scratch it off. But I want to see how many of these that I've read, because that would be so cool. And how many more I need to read. Oh, I can already see Oliver Twist. Haven't read that. Alice in Wonderland. Oh, I don't ever want to read that though. The Kite Runner. I haven't read that either. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to open this today though. We'll save that for another video. So yeah, that is what day 6 is about. Me finishing Dracula. And then I really do want to get to a book that was not on my TBR. I want to get to The Woman in Suite 11. But that's for another day. Okay. I gotta do this update quick because my tea's getting cold. Isn't that a book? No, that's before the coffee gets cold. Okay, don't mind my hair because my headphones were on and my headphones give me a really big dent. I'm sorry, don't look, okay? If you thought I wasn't gonna finish Dracula and that I wasn't gonna like it, you'd be wrong, because I did finish Dracula and I did, okay, I liked it a lot. Like first 2/3, a masterpiece. The last third, a little boring. But I think that it's a classic and it's earned its classiness. It was really good. It was really good. The fact that it was so well paced up until that 2/3 mark, until we were just searching for some dirt, I think that's a win, you know? Especially because, I mean, back then this was considered fast paced probably. I really just loved all of the detail, all of the description. Stoker is really good at writing Mr. Dracula. Like, he seemed downright scary. And the fact that Dracula ends up becoming, like, shifting into this he ends up Benjamin Buttoning, essentially. He becomes more youthful. The fact that, like, Jonathan Harker becomes more aged as this thing, as the book keeps going, and as his lady love is more and more implicated, he just like he grays early. He just gets more haggard and not much time has elapsed. It's just very, I really liked the book. Van Helsing, what a character. And none of the stuff he was saying was supposed to be funny, but I took it as comedy. Like when they're talking about a certain character, John Seward is like, what do you mean? Why are we gonna go to that character's tomb? Van Helsing's like, well, we're gonna go and we're gonna stab him in the heart and we're gonna cut off their head, of course. And Seward's like, oh, he's such a weird Dutch man. And I just, like, the fact that there's hypnosis in this and transfusions, it's just such a kooky book. It's a kooky book. And I'm so glad that I read it, because 2021 me was having a very hard time. But it's just because I was going through some stuff, like a lot of stuff, so I think I was not in the headspace to read. And I do know that there's some discourse about this being a very anti-feminist book, and then some people say that it's a very feminist book. So there's there are opposing thoughts being had on this little novel right here. And I don't think it's either one of those things. I think that to say this is anti-feminist is weird because of the time it was written in. That wasn't really a topic, you know? And two, Mina herself as a character is a very feminist character. She's not, sure, she has a fiance, husband, and yes, her whole life is, you know, gearing towards being his wife, which that was of the times. And again, what's wrong with that? But she has a job. She wants to be a stenographer. She's a career woman. So I don't understand where people are like, this is such an anti-feminist book. And the fact is, she is very integral to the plot, finding Dracula later on. Sure, I don't love that This is a little bit of a repetitive book. We get a lot of pages where they're like, oh, we can't tell Mina, and oh, I'm so glad we've left Mina at home, and like, oh, say goodbye to Mina. Like, okay, we get it. Stoker, we get it. You're leaving her there. But also, don't leave her alone. Why are we leaving her alone? That was where I was like, okay, I know we're just trying to further the plot, but like, why are we leaving this girl alone? It's clear, we know that Dracula likes the ladies. So, okay, anyway, that's that. I really like this. The end was a little anticlimactic, which is why I can't give it a 5-star, but I give it a 4. In fact, we're gonna do ghosts throughout this entire Summerween episode. 4 ghosts out of 5. 4 to 5 ghosts. I would recommend. I thought it was fun. Also, I have to mention the fact that the first, like, scene we have of seeing Dracula being Dracula is so funny to me because he's crawling up the side of a castle like a lizard, and I just had to mention that because it's so hilarious to me. Anyway, I will have to buy that book from, not the library, from the bookstore. I will have to buy it because I really enjoyed it. So now it is currently, like I said, the 6th day, and I don't know what to read next. So we're gonna read, we have 2 more days, so we can read 1 book a day. I believe we can do it. I'm not really feeling like an audiobook because I want to read. I want to use my eyes. So I should get to The Game as a Footnote because I should. I've been saying it for 2 months at this point. And then I do want to get to The Woman in Suite 11 because I just bought it. And this is the only book that I'm allowing myself to buy this month. So you are darn skippy. I'm going to read it. So what are we going to read first? I don't know. Let's read a chapter of each and we'll see what we do. And I'll come back to you in a bit.
So many questions that I wanna ask, but I can find the reasons why. You always find a small excuse to leave. What's your excuse to make me cry? My love was lost when you came and took it all. My mind says stop, but my heart is screaming out.
Okay, Bikini Bottom. We have read a chapter of each book, and okay, intrigue-wise, I really want to go with The Woman in Suite 11 because I want to know what this luxury hotel is all about. The first chapter gets you, it does. Side note, I think the reason why I don't like that this is a sequel is because as someone who read the first one, you want to believe in a mystery thriller that the characters that survive live happily ever after. So you don't want them getting into any more hijinks or trouble. And that's what's happening to Lo Blackwood. So there is a little prologue, I guess you could call it a prologue. It's like 1-2 pages, and it's basically just in like an italicized font. Someone has a dream, you assume that it's Lo. They're like trapped in something, and the dream wasn't a dream. They're just trapped, locked in a cell, and they don't know how they're going to get it out. And then we enter part 1, chapter 1, which is Laura Blackwell. Is that her name? Yeah, I think so. Lo Blackwell, she is with her husband in New York, and they have 2 kids, and she's feeling a little bit restless being basically a stay-at-home mom ever since the first book where she was doing a story on that Norwegian cruise and stuff went down there, and then she wrote about it. She gained a little bit of notoriety, but that's all disappeared since she had her kids during like the pandemic, and she wants to get back to that. So then she gets a letter inviting her to this luxury hotel in Geneva. Yeah, off the shores of Lake Geneva. And, oh, it's Blacklock. Her last name is Blacklock. It's right here. But yeah, she wants to revive her journalistic career, And she's like, I can't go because my husband, he lets the kids dress themselves. And the husband's like, yo, I think his name is Judah. Why can I not take in any names? His name is Judah. And he's like, just go. Go, have a good time. Get your career back, honey. Do you. And so she's going to. That's where the first chapter leaves off. It's nice and short, sweet, to the point. I liked it. We're at page 13 by the time we get to chapter 2. Juxtapose that with The Game as a Footnote. This first chapter is 15 pages long, and this also has a prologue. The prologue is just showing you the history and genealogy of this Scarlet House. It's a historical house in Cape Cod in West London, and just showing that throughout all of these people who were connected to it, there was no nefarious behavior, nothing happened, and there were no criminals. And then it says, until now. And then we are with Gemma and Jane, and Jane's mother at Jane's tea shop. They're having a little committee meeting to discuss the fact that somebody from the Scarlet House, because the board members for the committee of the people preserving the Scarlet House, they want Gemma to investigate what's happening, because it seems like there's like a ghost moving things around. And Gemma's like, there's no such thing as ghosts, you dummies. And she's like, but nevertheless, I shall investigate. I think I'm just not in the mood for cozy anything. I think, and that might be just because of what I was listening to. I was listening to a spooky playlist. I think I do want to keep reading this one, so I will.
It's radiating the pain. My scapula.
Hello and welcome to Summerween day 8/7, 7/8, because I didn't do any updates yesterday because I guess I was kind of busy-ish. I mean, as busy as I can be. And I also was reading most of the day. I did finish The Game as a Footnote, and I give it 3 stars. It was just okay. It's doing something that this book is doing as well, which is mentioning the pandemic, which it's fine if you write that, but I don't want to read it. So I did know this was set after the pandemic, but I did not know this was. And it's not like it has some big effect on the story itself, but there's just a lot of mentions, and I can get one, but it just keeps on going and going. This book, talking about plot-wise, it does something that I really don't enjoy, which is it employs the use of Gemma's sister, Pippa, and I think it's just a cop-out when Delaney uses Pippa in stories. I didn't like how she was brought into the narrative, and it's not that I don't like her sister, it's just that I don't think she belongs in West London. I don't want her there. I don't know. This one also had a lot to do with like a little side plot that the author was trying to introduce, I guess, which is mainly just that the bookshop has a worker that Gemma employs, and her name is Ashley, spelled not in the correct spelling. I'm sorry to all the Ashleys in the world, but my Ashley is correct. Yours is wrong. Sorry if your name is Ashley. Ashley. But yeah, this one was kind of about Ashley, and I just didn't care. I think this book series gets worse and worse because the characters become more and more settled. And that's just, I just read it because my mom has these books and I like the setting. But this is not the best one. And I did guess who had done it. So, read that. And now I'm reading The Woman in Suite 11. I am about 163 pages in. I'm on part 3, and this is where it would be good to read descriptions on flaps. Flaps are there for a reason. I didn't realize that this book was not going to take place primarily at the hotel in Geneva. I wanted to stay at this hotel forever, but we leave the hotel about 100 pages in. More than that. I'm being very general. So we're following Lo as she goes to this hotel. She's been invited and some weird things are happening as she's going to the hotel. Like, she gets upgraded to first class on her flight. She thinks her husband did it, but there's no extra money in the budget for this, so he's like, sorry, it wasn't me, but have fun. And she's also taking care to not drink as much because her first experience with a luxury type of a thing for journalistic capacities was with the Norwegian cruise she took. And she got a little too sloppy on that one, and she felt like, and this is where you need to you do need to read the first book to understand all the characters that are in this book. They've really disappeared at this point, but there are a lot of callbacks to the first book, and even me, who has read the first one, I was like, I don't remember any of these people. And the person that she's trying to help is also from that first book. So it's in the flap. She's greeted by the mistress of this Marcus man, who is the head of the hotel enterprise, like he's a big luxury businessman, very wealthy. And the mistress of Marcus needs some help, and Lo has to decide whether or not to help her. And it says on the little flap, what follows is a thrilling cat and mouse pursuit across Europe. I don't like cat and mouse chases across Europe. Ugh. Up to this point, I've been having a fine time. But if Ruth Ware does that thing she did in 0 Days, if we just go on a chase and we're just on the run on the lam, I will be mad. So that's how this is going. And yeah, we will be filling the last day of Summerween with the 8th book. If I finish this book today, I will have read 8 books in 8 days. Hold your applause, no pictures, please. So yeah, that's my update. I'll probably update you when I finish the book and not much else during the day. I'm just being honest. I have done it, people. It is the end of day 8. Not really the end, it's like 6 o'clock at night, but it is the end of Summerween for me, and I did finish 8 books in 8 days. So we will talk about the last book that I read, which was kind of a flop, disappointment.com, but I still had a really great reading week. So do you guys like the poster I have of my 100 epic reads of all time? Or of a lifetime? I cannot wait to scratch these things off, but we're gonna wait for another video. So I did finish The Woman in Suite 11, and I am torn. I'm giving this 3 ghosts out of 5 because I'm torn as to my enjoyment level. I enjoyed it, but there is a very heavy caveat of this is the sequel, and I just don't believe that the first book required us to take a look at Lo again. I don't think we should have been with her again. Sorry. I think that Lo is the type of character, and she says this herself, the type of character that does things she should not. And I think that is why this book feels so purposeless and redundant, because Lo should have learned her lesson. That's the problem with some of these sequels. It's like the whole point of a book is to learn a lesson at some point, to learn a lesson. And she does not, and you're like, I hate you, Lo. And so that was it. Like, and I really didn't like that. I mean, this is on me. I didn't read the entire description on the flap, but I just wanted to be in the hotel the entire time. And spoiler alert, we weren't. Not a spoiler because it's on the flap. We weren't in the hotel the entire time. So I immediately got pulled out of the immersive, atmospheric, Swiss opulent energy that I was being served. I fell out of it. And then at a certain point, there is a murder that happens, and I cannot believe that Ruth Ware thinks we're stupid enough to not know who did it. So that leads me to believe that this was just like, we all know who did it. So it's like, what are we asking? And the fact that the main character doesn't know for the longest time who did it, you're like, girl, how do you not know? And it's infuriating. So this book infuriated me. Couple that with the fact that the characters from the first book are in it, but only as little cameos, basically. Like, they'll come into the story for a second and you're like, oh, are you there for a reason? And it's like, not really. So it just felt superfluous. I really, and that's the other thing. This made me feel a type of way about a book that I previously enjoyed. And that's like, it sullies how you feel about a finished product. So I just didn't enjoy that. So yeah, 3 ghosts out of 5. I really wanted to like it, but I didn't. It just felt like I was, okay, anyway, never mind. So the other books that I read, here they are. Minus Too Old for This, which I read via NetGalley ebook, and I read via audio Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. And I really enjoyed most of the books that I read. Like, there were some 3s, of course, but some standouts were, of course, Something This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. Really enjoyed this. Super atmospheric, and I would recommend this one, especially if you're a fan of, like, Stephen King. I feel like this had a very King tone to it, or maybe that King writes like Ray Bradbury. I feel like that was what I was getting from this story. So really enjoyed this, and I need to watch the movie. I really do. And then another standout is Dracula. This baby, it got me so goodly because I didn't think I was gonna like it because I DNF'd it previously. So really enjoyed this. Also need to watch the adaptation with Winona Ryder and Gary Oldman. I need to watch it. Plus, I didn't hit the bingo for watching a movie. I will place on the screen how many bingos I got, or if I got one at all. So there's that. If I got a bingo, you'll know. But yeah, so atmospheric, so detailed, such engaging writing for it being written. When was this written? Dracula first appeared in bookshops on the 26th of May, 1897. For a book written in the late 1800s, so engaging. I loved it. And then, of course, I loved Too Old for This by Samantha Downing. I never thought I would want to read about a 75-year-old murderess grandmother. I didn't think that was what I was going to be wanting to read, but it was. So I gave all 3 of those books 4 out of 5 ghosts, and someone's vacuuming downstairs, and watching Roswell. So I think this is where I leave you. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this really long, drawn-out video that I'm going to have to edit it to death so it's not too long. And I hope you join me again for the next video that I do. Of course, I post it every single day for the Instagram challenges, so my Instagram is linked below. You can follow me if you want. I post sporadically. I'll post for like a week straight, and then I will ghost for about 3 months, but I'll always come back. And yeah, I think that's all I had to say. Thanks for watching. Bye!